Hello, this is Lysa Black, a heart healer. This is the Heart Leaders Rise and Shine series. Today, I'm delighted to be interviewing Kim Baird, an amazing businesswoman, an amazing individual, and a personal friend of mine. We've been friends for about 2 years now. So incredibly grateful for Kim and her gifts and everything that she's been able to support me with in my own business. Kim, welcome. Thank you so much for being with us, honey.
Thank you, Lisa. It's great to be here.
So, Kim, I think I really wanted to interview you because you're someone that I admire so much. You know, I think the leaders that we really admire that have risen up significantly are also the ones who have had a lot of obstacles to overcome. And I'm so in awe of some of the things that you've overcome. Can you share with us, in your business, what would you say is one of the biggest obstacles that you've overcome, and how did you do that, sweetheart?
Whoa, well, there's actually been so many. I've been in business for over 14 years. So over that time, you can imagine there's been a lot of challenges and things to overcome, not just one or two. Probably the biggest one actually is coming out as a speaker and an author and really sharing my voice. As a child, I really felt quite constricted and not able to speak my truth, and I almost was kind of like mute. I was always like the quiet one that never said anything unless she was spoken to, and so it was just so crazy and insane that I'm now a speaker and actually helping people with the words and the knowledge that I have.
Wow, sweetheart. And obviously shocking for people who knew you when you were younger.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I always heard people going, oh, wow, you've got such deep wisdom in you when you talk, but you don't talk very much. And, you know, I am very much one of sit back and observe and take in the situation. And so it is quite a shock to people to see me out there actually speaking and being that leader person. And it's taken a lot to break through all my internal barriers to actually come to that point.
And I think this is why, you know, so many of us love and admire you, sweetheart, because I think when we really comprehend the place that someone's come from in order to allow themselves to speak, it's almost like the words are more precious. Do you know what I mean? We really are able to honor, and obviously it creates an atmosphere where we can give permission for other people to speak. So I know that when people hear you, and particularly your latest book, you know, Gifts from the Darkness, you know, it's so powerful to give a voice to your own experiences, because in that moment you're speaking on behalf of others who are not in a position yet to speak on their own behalf. Hey, hun.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm definitely leading the way for a lot of introverts and those people that really feel that they're kind of, you know, they're not really the typical leader or speaker or healer or, you know, person that's out there in the world helping others. Because I think, you know, as a total introvert that just wants to kind of hide from the world, I really get that. You know, there's people that are out there really not shining, kind of hiding. And I do feel like I am leading the way for those people that are introverted, but they know they've got stuff to gift to the world. They know they've got stuff that they can help people with, and I really love helping those types of people kind of come out of their shell and show them that you can be an introvert and a leader, and you can have a massive impact and help people.
I love that, and I love this part of you, Kim. If you had a brief message to be able to share with those people who do really resonate with being introverted and do really struggle to speak their truth, you know, to their family, friends, or to the public at large, what would you say is your one most powerful piece of advice for the introverts that really do secretly yearn to step into more powerful leadership for themselves?
I think probably the most powerful thing is, one, recognize that as you know, as someone that's kind of hiding and a little bit unwilling to kind of come out, there's no magic formula, or there's no like set box of how it has to look. And this is one of the big things that I really got this year. One of my big breakthroughs that happened earlier this year was I was really having this massive internal conflict of the wanting to help people more, the wanting to be a leader, because I have that deep in my heart as my purpose here. Like, it just is a deep calling that is, you can't describe it, but it's like a knowing that I'm like, I know I'm here to help way more people and have a massive impact on the world. But also that feeling of being that kind of introverted type person where it's like, I need to have my space by myself. I need to, you know, kind of hide in my cave for a while.
Yeah.
And all the leaders that I saw were the extroverted type that love being in the spotlight, that love being out there. And so my model of what leader looked like was really flawed. And so at the beginning of this year, I got this massive breakthrough of actually I can create my own model of what a leader looks like. And that can be being out there, having an impact in the world, but also having that time, like going in cycles and waves of, okay, well, now I need to retreat and I need to have some time to myself to recharge myself. And that was my biggest breakthrough, and why I've actually skyrocketed so far for this year was because of that aha moment. And so for those people out there, I would say to them, there's no fixed model of what leadership or helping people looks like. And so it's about finding what it looks like for them, for you, and also taking small steps forward. And it doesn't have to be a massive leap, you know, it doesn't have to be like you're doing nothing right now, or you're doing a few little things to being on international TV and the next day. That can be possible if you want to, but for a lot of us that are a bit more introverted, but you know, a bit quieter, that's way too big a jump and it's too scary. And so just small steps, you know, small steps in the right direction of what you want to create, and you'll get braver, you'll get more confident, and you'll be able to actually shine brighter because of it.
Aww, gorgeous, Kim. I just adore you. This is so perfect, you know, to honor that need to turn within and to move away and then step back out and be like, here I am again, and here's my message now, and then kind of go back away and retreat and be within. I think it's such a beautiful concept for people to be able to hear that we don't have to fit into any box of leadership or helping that's been predefined by someone else. That you've given yourself permission to be able to define that as it serves and supports you. And I just think small steps are so unglamorous. You know what I mean? There's not a lot of people that really support small, consistent steps, but I really do. Like, I think you and I really know the value of conditioning ourselves and getting ourselves into the emotional climate within to be able to be prepared to, like you said, be able to step on and have an interview on TV. You don't just emotionally get there. I think it shows sometimes when people aren't emotionally there yet. Hey, hun.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, things happen when you're ready. And so like I was on TV 2 years ago and I was so ready for that then. But if you gave that opportunity to me 2 years earlier, I never would have been able to do it. I mean, I used to have trouble like ringing up for takeaways over the phone. Like that's how anxious I was to speak in front of people. And so when my husband, we're actually, me and my husband are in business together, when he was like, oh, I think you should be a speaker, I'm like, way, no way, like that's never ever going to happen. And now we have this big laugh about it of like, oh my goodness, you were so right that I needed to actually get out and be a speaker because it's my life purpose. And it hasn't been comfortable along the way. And that's another thing that I would love to point out is that people think that when they find their purpose, it's going to be all ease and flow and this beautiful, magical thing. Yeah. And unfortunately, sometimes you're actually going to have to do things that are going to stretch you. They're going to stretch you beyond your core of like what you thought was possible. And I never, ever, ever thought that I would be able to be a speaker, to be an award-winning writer, author, to be out there in the public eye. It's been a real challenge to get here, but it's exactly what I'm supposed to be doing for my purpose. And the signs in my life has led me to discover that, but it hasn't always been easy. There's been things that internally I've had to work through and had to overcome in order to make that happen.
Oh gosh, it's just so delicious to the soul. Do you know what I mean? To hear the transparency and reality, you know, of your process and where you've really been turning within to do your own work so that you can really show up and live in alignment with your own purpose, sweetheart. I think what I'd love to hear from you, obviously you've got this amazing Profits Pyramid live event coming up 26th to the 28th of August where, you know, people who are really wanting to step up and make massive change can come along to an immersion experience for those full, 2 days. I'd love to hear, a little bit about where you're seeing yourself in the next 6 to 12 months, knowing that helping other business owners to really step up is so integral for you. What are you doing here, sweetheart?
Yeah, so look, it's been a really big transition for me this year in terms of really stepping up and owning my power. And so part of this Profits Pyramid Live has been really part of that. It's actually a 3-day event, and it's the first 3-day event that we've done, which scares the bejeebers out of me because I've only done 1 and 2 day events before, and so that's another big step up, and sometimes when you're stepping up, you need to push yourself out of your comfort zone. And that's when you get the biggest shifts, the biggest rewards. And so this is what Profits Pyramid is all about, and it's about helping business owners, because many leaders, many healers, many people that are wanting to have a bigger impact in the world are business owners, they are entrepreneurs, they are those leaders. So I'm about helping those people, and that's what this event is all about, is kind of about creating more impact, helping them to make their business work for them financially, and also having a bigger impact on the world. In terms of where I see myself in the next 6 months, I mean, goodness, this year has been massive in terms of the changes and the shifts that have come. In 6 months' time, I would really just love to be having a greater impact in terms of my reach and exposure of who I'm helping. I've created some massive transformations for people this year, just mind-blowing. I mean, people's lives have just been completely turned upside down in terms of their personal lives and in terms of their business lives. And so I would love to just have a bigger impact in terms of the amount of people that I'm helping. And I'm heading in a really good place to do that. So that's where I'm at the moment.
Gorgeous, hun. It's so powerful to be able to hear that for you. You are in process. You've been able to give yourself permission to speak your truth, own your power, step up, do this amazing 3-day live in-person event. That is based in Auckland, isn't it, sweetheart?
Yes, it is. Yep, in Auckland.
And obviously you and your husband have so much experience that you can share for people on that day, and that your personal intention is to be able to take everything that you can help people with and really scale that, really share it, and have far greater reach and far greater impact than before. And I mean, that's the sort of energy that I want to hang around with. Do you know what I mean? People who allow themselves to see the value that they bring and give themselves permission to expand that. Hey.
Oh yeah, and look, that's been a really big process, and every step forward, you kind of commit deeper and you see your value more, and it is a process, and so even this year, I feel actually just in the last 2 months. I feel that another big leap for me in terms of owning that power, in terms of committing to my purpose, in terms of really creating the impact in the life that I actually want to create, and truly seeing the value. Like I said, I've got some just phenomenal results for my clients this year. And what I love about that is I'm not like a surface level person. I'm like a deep shift change person. And so I'm not interested in those surface level changes. It's like I go really deep with people, and that's how I get such just phenomenal results with them, because of that deep stuff that we're working on in order to create the change. So it can happen really fast, but it is deep stuff, and it can be quite intense when when I'm working with people.
And I think this, coming back to giving yourself permission as an introverted leader to be able to honor your process. I know that this is where a lot of your wisdom comes from. The depth of you is your capacity to retreat and turn within, and really, pay attention to that deep wisdom within yourself, and then bring that out and share that with people. So it's going to be a sure treat, sweetheart, to be able to play. If anyone would like to find out about Profits Pyramid Live, go to profitpyramid.com and check that out. It's coming up from the 26th of August, so do check out profitspyramid.com. And Kim, you are just extraordinary. You really are amazing in business, and it's such an honor to be able to see how you're honoring the truth of who you are and bringing that forward in alignment and in integrity and authentically. And I just feel so grateful for the wisdom that you've shared with us today. Thank you so much, sweetheart.
Thank you so much, Lysa, for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Oh, yes, we are the Heart Leaders. This is the Rise and Shine series with Lysa Black.